Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin powder, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. All right, all right, all right. What's going on, y'all? Okay, so this is a new segment, y'all. This is a new segment a new show that I'm doing on my channel, and hopefully I can keep it going. This is Now That We're Grown, Waiting to Exhale. Okay, so just to explain a bit, the premise of this is so that we can discuss old movies that I grew up in the 80s, 90s, so on. Because I feel like we'll go beyond that at some point. Because Claudine will definitely be on my list. Sparkle maybe the 70s version. And maybe a comparison to the 2000s. But either way, y'all, so many things, so many different movies and conversations that we can have from this. And I thought Waiting to Exhale was the perfect place to start. Looking at this movie now as a grown woman, looking at this movie now as a woman in her 30s, and to hear and actually listen to the conversations that are taking place in this movie, um, is crazy to me because I feel like, in fact, we seem to be repeating and doing the same thing and having the same conversations, you know what I'm saying, all over again. Like the themes that Waiting to Exhale covered, I mean, honestly, when I think about it, it was ahead of its time because I don't think I had, like, even when I was watching it again, y'all, I've watched this movie a million times. And when I was watching it to review it, whenever I watch a review, I watch with a different eye. I watch with an eye of how am I going to discuss this, or just having an appreciation for, something as a whole. You know what I mean? And when I was watching Waiting to Exhale, now I've always loved the soundtrack from Waiting to Exhale. I've always, loved the people in Waiting to Exhale. Like it was just one of those movies, as a young Black girl growing up, that you just really love to watch because you're watching these beautiful Black women on a screen. You know what I mean? And y'all, of course, at this point, everybody's obsessed with Whitney. If you are me, you're obsessed with Whitney and Angela Bassett. And you also, have this love relationship with Loretta Devine. And Leela Rashawn comes in as just the beautiful girl. You know what I'm saying? Just beautiful. And, she was that girl at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like she was that girl. So it just really gave you a cast of people that you wanted to look at, that you wanted to see. But girl, when I tell you, if we're not having some of the same conversations on YouTube every damn day that we're having in this movie, like it's crazy. So I definitely wanted to come to you guys with a breakdown of the movie and to discuss some of the things, the themes, the nuances, the personalities that we see stereotypically repeated over and over and over again. But going back to the way this movie was done, this movie felt big and beautiful. And I mean, the music in the background, the sunsets, like certain parts. And I wish I could have, that's why I said I wanted to do this on the website on the Slick. And I think moving forward, I may be doing this on the website and giving you guys a condensed version here on YouTube because I can't play the movie. And there are certain moments that I would love to go back and just, kind of just show what I mean and just have us all feel that vibe. But I'm very good at explaining, the picture. So fuck with me. All right. But the production, yes, Forrest Whitaker did an amazing job directing it. You know what I mean? There was so many people, Babyface with the production, Whitney Houston with the picking of the songs. I mean, I was listening to Shoot this morning when I was finishing up my workout. Like, oh my God. Everyone falls in love sometime. Sometimes it's wrong and sometimes it's right. For every win, someone must fail. But there comes a point when we'll exhale, yay. Say. Okay, listen, I had to give it to y'all right quick, right back. Just a little bit. And through this, we may dip in and out. But absolutely, the beginning of the movie starts off with Way You, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. I literally will tell that whole Alexa to play it at any moment in time. Okay. It is the vibe. Like, it's the vibe that was created. It's we're going through these emotional things, but even though Bernadine is going through financial issues, it all was luxury. It all felt good. It all felt like rich auntie. Like, and that's what I mean by the music. The music is rich auntie, y'all. Waiting to Exhale soundtrack is rich auntie's life. Okay. She's living a great life. She has good friends, but she's doing nasty shit from time to time. And sometimes it hurts like hell. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But yes, y'all, I rewatched this to make my notes. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the specifics of the thing. Okay. So Savannah is moving from Denver to Phoenix because the men are dead in Denver. Okay. She says that she prayed for a man and she got duds. So her prayers got more specific. Could he have compassion, integrity, and listen? Were we not just talking about that? Were we not just talking about how everybody's talking about a high value man is a nigga with money, or a high value man is a man that'll take care of his kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at Martell Holt and and I give that as an example because that's somebody who has used them being a good father as a way to pull the wool over people's eyes about who they truly are and what their intentions truly are and what their motivations are. And that's what's important. Your motivations. Why are you doing this? Is it for a selfish reason, or is it because you really love the person? Okay. So when we're talking about what's of value in a man, and now we're in our 30s, we're 33. Savannah's 33. I'm 33. We're 33. Okay. So what are we looking for in a man? More than just the finances, because bitch, if I'm moving from Denver to Arizona, I got the bag. I took a pay cut because I wanted to produce, because I'm living my dream right now, girl. And I'm living nice. Do you see me with the drop top driving through the beautiful Arizona desert? Okay. Listening to the cool jazz of Way You. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Savannah's life is amazing. Essentially. You know what I'm saying? And what is she looking for in a man? Someone that has compassion, integrity, and who listens. Which, if you look around these days, is hard to find. Okay? Hard to find. Okay? But that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about that same shit today. And I had to pick this out, y'all. And this is why I say I really had to sit and like really listen, more than just like watching, like you watch one of your favorite movies where you're in and out. She said, what men are best at is convincing us that we should feel desperate. But I don't fall for that shit. Do you hear me? What men are best at is convincing us what they good at, what they do better than anything else, is to convince us, the women, that we should feel desperate for them. What does that sound like? Who's been doing that? Manosphere, anyone? Listen, listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. I want y'all to understand how, like, now as a grown woman, movies like this, shows like Living Single, built me. Like, as far as, and I'm not saying I had things in life to reinforce it, but when I watch some of these things back, the moral that they are imparting in on women during this time period is epic. Epic. Okay? It really is. So I just want that to sink in, okay? That we're already talking about this in the 90s, okay? We're already here, okay? So moving on. Bernadine. Bernadine is overwhelmed being a wife and a mother. She is getting ready to go to a boring party with her husband. Once again, I'm doing something I don't want to do for him. He comes into the dressing room. Mind you, the lady been ripping and running with their kids all day. Stopped, got her dressed, got his tux. He went and got dressed, let her prepare to get dressed, and then came in and told her that he was thinking that, you know what, his mistress, Kathleen, didn't want to be alone tonight. And he was thinking, well, why should she be? So now he's letting his wife of all of these, of 11 years, 2 kids, we're going to get into it, but he's letting her know that he's choosing his preference, the white girl, his assistant, the bitch that keeps his books, over her. He's putting her feelings and what she needs behind this woman when she's already been putting her needs behind you. You've already been coming first in this situation, and now you come to your wife and tell her that you are not only leaving her for a white woman, because that's just, like, why, what? But it would not have mattered if he left her with a white woman if he had not been trying to whitewash the children the entire time, something she felt uncomfortable with, but she went along with. Okay? And here's the thing that a lot of y'all miss. And a lot of you men, you miss this too, the accountability part. At some point, every single one of these women will take accountability for the part that they played in being with these ain't shit ass men and what they accepted and what they went along with. And part of it was Bernadine realizing that she had allowed for her husband to do all of these things, to keep putting her feelings to the back, to the back, to the back, to the back. And that's why me as a woman, and a lot of the women that I know, will tell you not to do that. Yeah, you have to make sacrifices for your family, but we will tell you to always put yourself and your dreams and what you want to do first, and everything else needs to fit into that. Okay, of course, with heart and love and recognition for your children and your spouse, all that shit. Yeah, but it needs to start looking more balanced than what it looks like, because it tends to look like women make all of the life sacrifices, meaning that men go to work and all of that and they act like that's the sacrifice. But essentially, you want to be someone that has shit. You want to have this good job. You want to have the image that comes along with what you've acquired. Okay? So you're doing this for you. But you act like you're doing it for your wife because she's at home and you're taking care of her. But in Bernadine's situation, Bernadine put in the work. Bernadine helped him create the business. Bernadine, look, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it, okay? But I don't want to skip anything. Okay, so hold up. He's leaving her for his preference, a white woman who keeps his books. He asked if it would be better if she were black, and she says, no, it would be better if you were black. Now, this is something you're saying out of pain and out of hurt. You're pissed. This nigga let you rip and run all day so he can put the suit that you went and picked up from the cleaners on to take the other bitch to the party that you didn't even really want to go to in the first fucking place. Like, y'all, he knew he was gonna leave that lady all fucking day, and he let her rip and run for him and tire herself out for him, and then sit there and put on makeup and get herself together so he can walk in the room and tell her that he needed to think about the other bitch's feelings first today, after she had been putting her feelings to the back for him. And that's why we say, don't put your feelings to the back like that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because at the end of it, when they end up making decisions for themselves that you didn't make for yourself, you're going to be the one with egg on your face. He's going to move on. He's going to continue to make money. He's going to go and move on with the white woman, and she will reap the benefits of all of the work you put in. And all you will have is all the sacrifices that you made to create resentment inside of you, because now you're mad that you didn't make the decisions back then for yourself the way you should have, because you was trying to make the sacrifices for your man. That's why it's important for women to find out what they need to do for them, what makes them happy, what gives them real like pleasure in life, and not just having children, because that's still something for somebody else essentially. What do you do for you that's for you? Because if you don't have that, then what do you have when your man decides he doesn't want to be here anymore? And what people need to understand is no matter how much a nigga tell you he love you, anybody can wake up on any given Sunday and decide, I don't want to be here anymore. And then you are now two people that have to separate. But if you are somebody that has been only an extension of another person, what do you have left when that person that's the main thing here takes themselves away from you? What do you have? Nothing. Which is why it is important for people in relationships to recognize that both people need to have autonomy. Both people need to have their light, their path in life. And their paths need to be going together in order for them to stay together. And they need to figure out ways to do that if that's what they want to do. That's why it's a choice. But the idea that women are always supposed to be in some subservient, I'm putting my life and my wants and wishes on the back burner so my man can do his shit first, is not what anybody should be doing anymore. Stop doing that. If he can't get his shit together while you get your shit together, then I guess he can't get his shit together then, huh? If he can't figure out a way to go to school while you doing what you need to do, if he can't figure out a way to pay bills and do what he needs to do for his own growth while you doing what you need to do for yours, then I guess y'all need to be apart then, huh? Because y'all are not being of value to each other if y'all are not making life easier to do what you need to do. And it's not even just about having hobbies. That's another thing. It's not just about having shit to keep you busy. It's about having a real like passion in your life. It's about having something that really drives you as a person in your life that will help you continue to move, putting yourself and what you want for yourself first. That way you can make good decisions instead of making decisions that are sacrifices for other people that you end up resenting when those people can't give you the life that you wanted. You know why? Because it's your responsibility to create that for yourself. Yes, as a woman, you need to have your own purpose. Do you hear me? Okay. So that is where Bernadine fell short. It was putting all, like she said, baby, when she said, I wish, it would be better if you were Black, he then says to her, thank you for making this easy for me. As if she has done something to him. As if she's not entitled to be angry in this moment. As if anything she does isn't warranted when you walked in here and said what the fuck you said the way you said it. I'm going to tell you why he was wrong. Not just because he's been cheating on her and now he's telling her that he's leaving her for another woman. But because if you weren't happy with Bernadine, it should have been about you not being happy with Bernadine and you needing to leave because you were no longer happy in that space. Don't try to blame her for why you aren't happy. You aren't happy because you aren't happy, because that's you. That's your situation. Or maybe y'all aren't good together anymore. Or maybe y'all have grown apart. But it should not have been this other woman is better than you. And now I'm replacing you with her, which is what he basically said to her. He made it about her not being good enough. He made it about not wanting to put her feelings first. That's what he made it about. And it should have been about, I as a man am not happy here. I don't want to be in this situation anymore and I need to go. And the conversation should have happened not during this moment. And it damn sure shouldn't have happened knowing that everybody was going to know about it as soon as he got to that party with that woman. So she had to deal with the fact that not only did you just thrust this upon her in a crass and cruel way, but people are going to know about it before she even has a chance to completely digest it. So in the way he broke up with her, it was cruel, as if she had done something to him, besides be there for him, besides support him, besides put all her feelings to the back burner for him, because at the time he was showing her love. So it made her feel like he appreciated the sacrifices that she was making. So it made the pain of in the underneath the lull of not having something for herself, it made it easier to deal with. But that's why you don't ever do it. Because I don't care what y'all talking about. There's the biggest sacrifice any woman makes is not finding her own purpose in her life that is about her. That's the biggest mistake she can make. Because no matter if they make you feel like your sacrifice was worth it, it's a sacrifice you shouldn't have to make. Because this is your life. It's your life. You're the only one living it. So no one should expect you to like really be. And that's why I say this shit is crazy to me. Like how people think about the way women are supposed to be. Yeah, I'm gonna find that episode of A Different World that really puts that shit in perspective. Constance Covington, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. All right. So Robin. Y'all, Robin is me as a young woman. You know what I'm saying? Like just early on in life, the way I used to be about it. You know what I'm saying? Robin likes pretty boys with big sticks, like Russell, the lying, sneaky, whorish Pisces. Okay, who is the beautiful Leon Jesus? And I say that because I feel like any woman that was in Robin's position at some point or another would have been Robin at any point in the situation. Like, and don't get me wrong, I know there are women that don't want to be with married men and all of that, but I believe that Robin did not know that Russell was married at first. Russell was really out here living his life like he was single. And Robin moved to where he was pregnant, found out he was married, had an abortion. Then he starts coming back around. But she's still keeping herself single. She's not going to do what she did the first time. So she keep moving around. That's why Russell was in and out. That I didn't realize that when I was growing up, that when she was talking about herself at the end, she was talking about she did all of that for Russell. So she moved to Arizona for Russell. This was her second. By the time we get to the end of the movie, she's going to be pregnant for Russell for the second time. Okay? So don't get me wrong, we wouldn't make all of these decisions. But y'all remember that moment when we finally saw Russell for the first time in person, because she had been talking about him and we hadn't seen him. But they do the pan across Leon's shoulder, his arms. He's sitting on the sofa like that and he's telling her to come here. And so they panned across the back of his motherfucking shoulders. And I was just like, it reminds me why I love him. Beautifully animated. Thank you for the super chat. Facts, Bondy. Only you can live your life. Okay. Thank you, La Homme de Mon. This happened to my parents after 25 years. My dad just wasn't happy there anymore and packed up and left. My mother was devastated. That's why you got to keep some you about you. That way you can you can move on from it. You can move on from it. When you make your life about another person in that way, it makes it really hard. It really makes it hard to be able to live your life without them. And you really should be able to, you know what I'm saying? Because if they decide that it's no longer what they need, they should be able to go. Like if your dad ain't happy no more, he really should go. But your mom should also be able to let him go and know that it doesn't make her less of anything. It just means that he, anybody that's ever been in a relationship, you ain't never just kind of fell out of it. Just stop feeling it. Like they used to tell me when I was young all the time. You know what I mean? That's why I love lyric in a way that I am constantly reminded of what I feel. But you Oh my God. I'm gonna call him back because I don't want to stop and pause this live right now. But when I be telling y'all my other worldliness or whatever, that I don't really claim, but sometimes it'll pop up on me. So moving on, y'all. He gotta meet me halfway all day, every day. I understood that because I felt it was weird that he became a truck driver and he was staying away from home more often. Yeah, like people really do get bored. They fall out of love, and it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that. So they stay in the position until they can't do it anymore. And that's why it's important to still have a piece of yourself for you. That way you can deal with the pain and move on from it. Gloria is worried about her teenage son getting hurt on New Year's Eve. He throws in her face that his dad, because she was like, your dad's coming to visit soon. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. And she was like, where did he sleep the last time he was here? Basically, like, he only came here to fuck you and then he left. And I haven't seen him since. Okay. So if you want somebody to get excited about his ass coming, then you get excited about it. So now we've got the situation of a Black woman who had a baby by a man that she did not know was bisexual, who now, all these years later, 17 years later, is 100% gay. Okay. And she has basically taken herself out of the running for finding a partner all of these years. I don't know whether she was holding on to him or because she just didn't have the confidence and felt bad about herself. So she just lived her life in a non-romantic way, pouring into her son. And a lot of women do that. A lot of y'all pour into your children when you are heartbroken behind a relationship. And I think it's easier to not put yourself back out there again because you could possibly get hurt again. But the mistake she made, and she realized this, but it took Marvin to show her. But Marvin also had to be a good man in order to show her that you can't be a crass, cruel, fucked up person trying to tell somebody about themselves and think that they're going to listen to you with the open heart. Remember that shit. Okay. But either way, basically, she put all her shit into him. She put all her energy into him. So then he became the companion. So now you have an unhealthy relationship with your son, all because you were too scared to go out there and find someone else. Okay. And it's a lot of nuance to that, because as much as you may want to go out and find someone else, now you have a child to think about, and it almost feels safer for you not to have someone else. But you have to have your own existence. You have to have your own life, because when it's time for your son to leave, you're having a hard time letting him go because you didn't create like any real space for yourself. Now, Gloria has a career because she had to take care of herself. She's a hairstylist. But essentially, the fact that she doesn't have a relationship, she doesn't have a love life at all, it shows that she tapped out of life and put all the emotional incest that a lot of women will have with their sons, okay, because of how hard it is to deal with their fathers abandoning you, love bombing you, and then abandoning you. It's a very traumatic experience, and people act like it's not. They act like it, it's just an everyday thing. No, bitches need to be going to therapy and shit after niggas act like they want families and they love you and all of that, and then turn around and leave you destitute with a child to take care of on your own. They come in and out and act like they did something. Child, we'll get into it. But that's something right there. Okay, Savannah goes to a party, sits down at a table, and the women are giving her the stink eye while the men are slobbering over her. She got invited there by Lionel, okay, who gave her a real nice slow dance. Okay, okay, she was feeling it, right? And then Kenya Moore walks up. Lionel, you haven't danced with me all night. Okay, and that ruined it. And now Whitney looking at him like, you dog ass nigga, how you gonna invite me here and you already here with another woman? And let's rewind for a second. Every single woman that had an attitude when Savannah sat down at that table, I wish y'all get some self-confidence about y'all. I wish y'all get y'all some self-confidence about y'all. I'm sorry, y'all, but that was unnecessary. First of all, it's a mixer. This looked like a Valentine's Day mixer, and y'all are all like sitting across from, a man or something. This lady sits down at the table and y'all looking at her like she coming to steal all y'all niggas. And she kind of had the attitude that, yeah, that's right, bitch. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna come and steal y'all niggas. She said that for 2 seconds and got up and walked away because she was looking for the man that she was coming there to meet. Now, it's not like there aren't women out there that are like that, but for you to be like this about women, something's wrong with you. You're insecure. I don't care how thirsty your bitch is. You ain't about to make me sweat. Please sit down. How are you? I don't feel threatened. What I feel threatened for? I'm that bitch. What I feel threatened for? I think all women should feel like that about themselves. Okay? I don't need to feel threatened by another woman. And if another woman can pull my nigga, then I guess my nigga is pullable and needed to be pulled away from me. Okay? That is the way I look at these things. Y'all be looking at it like, oh Lord, let me hold on to this one little man I got. So if a girl come around, oh bitch, get away from my man. Get away from my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how y'all be thinking about it. And I just kind of felt like, no, he is a grown-ass man. He better choose what he know is best. And that's that. And that way I retain how I handle myself. I retain my grace. And I don't have to be no bugged out bitch going off on another woman when a nigga could be out here lying, inviting 2 women to the same party. Okay? Come on now. Come on now. Y'all got to do better than that. The next morning, Robin and Gloria find out from your boy down to the hair. Y'all know the gay homeboy. I forgot his name. But he was down to the Circle K and he said, did y'all hear? John left Bernie. And for a white girl. Me and my girlfriend was down to the Circle K and we saw her came in there looking a mess. Her hair was all over the place. Child, I had to take my girlfriend home. Shay from Put a Ring on It absolutely came to mind. So we see Bernie waking up that morning and then the infamous scene. She said, this motherfucker is psychotic. I bet you there's serial killers less anal. You're going to leave me for a white woman, but I'm the only one who would tolerate your smart ass. I was your white woman for 11 years. You couldn't have started that damn company without me. Hell, I worked my ass off. Here I am with a master's degree in business, and I'm your secretary, your office manager, and your computer. No, you can't start catering this year, Bernadine. No. Wait 1, 2, 3 years. I need you to be the fucking background to my foreground. 7:32. 7:32. The number of times we made love, I remember when that bastard told me he was counting right after 51. Fuck me for not leaving your ass then. All the worst, but all the fucking worst, making my kids go to a school with only 2 other black children because you don't want them to be improperly influenced. Well, guess what, John? You are the motherfucking improper influence. Get your shit, and get out. I think that was it verbatim. So let's talk about it. That lady said, I had a master's degree in business, and here I am, your secretary, your office manager, and your computer. No, you can't start your catering business this year. Wait a few years. Wait 1, 2, 3 years. I need you to be the fucking background to my foreground. Do y'all not understand? Do you not understand that paying for shit is not enough for what that is? The amount of giving up of breath. Like, when she's saying that shit, I could feel how it would feel as a woman to have all this education, to want to do things yourself, but love this man. And he's a leader. So you're following him. You're submitting to him. And he's leading you down the drain while simultaneously covering his own ass. Simultaneously covering his own ass, he's hiding assets from her. We're going to get into that. But John was hiding assets from Bernadine after Bernadine helped him build his business. after she continued to put her own business on the back burner so that she can help him retain this image of him being the center of the universe. All for him to turn around and fucking leave her. Do you hear me? And that is why you don't do that. That's why you don't get a master's degree in business so that you can go and sit your lazy ass on the sofa all day and watch TV shows and take care of your kids instead of doing what you know you should be doing for yourself. It's hard, and it is easier to let somebody take care of you. But at the end of the day, is that ease worth not having anything for yourself when it's over? And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be over in one way or another. It's gonna be over because they're gonna die. It's gonna be over because there's gonna be a divorce. It's gonna be over because your kids are gonna be out of the house, and then you're only gonna have the two of you. There's always about 3 good reasons of how marriages will likely end, because they all end, whether in death or divorce. They will all end, and you will still need something for you. Okay, so that lady did all of that setup for her life to find a old Delilah ass nigga to get with, to help build, so she can forget about what she needed to do for herself, for him to leave her for a white girl and then try to hide shit from her so that she doesn't even get what she helped acquire. Y'all know John offered Bernadine $300,000. You didn't have a motherfucking thing before you got with her, and you offered her $300,000 when y'all are obviously millionaires. They live in a mansion in Arizona. Y'all heard her say that the mortgage was $5,000 a month. Cha. Moving on. So Robin, very interesting. Robin is having an awkward sexual experience with a sweaty, thick man named Michael. Okay. Michael is unattractive to her, but Robin is doing what a lot of women do. When you are constantly chasing what you find physically attractive and you keep getting your heart broke and your face cracked, you decide that, okay, I'm going to give the so-called nice guy a try. Because that's what Michael represents. Michael represents the so-called nice guy that you would overlook for the Leon. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, though. Michael is just as shallow as the Leons of the world. He's just less attractive. So if he fits into the good guy role, that makes him attractive because he has money. But he's, you know what I'm saying? Got money. You be a good guy, then you can get you a beautiful woman, because beautiful women are normally damaged. So you can give the beautiful damaged girl what all of the other crass, fucked up niggas couldn't give her. But it's not about her. It's not about loving her. It's not about building something real with her. It's about acquiring her so that you can use her to make other men see how valuable you are. Because that's the way men use women. A lot of men use beautiful women as a bargaining tool with other men, right? So Michael was rushing Robin. Robin is having, okay, we're going to go. I'm setting it up for y'all. But that's basically what the situation is, okay? You go through this very uncomfortable situation, which you felt like was a sacrifice, right? Because this nigga's sweating on you. He don't know what to do. He's not taking your clothes off. He's laughing. It's weird. You know, he has a weird, dirty looking tan shirt on. Like, it's all weird. And then he puts the condom on. You don't get to see the dick, because we can always take a fat nigga if the dick is nice, okay? And look, okay, Fonzo gives me, fat nigga with a nice looking dick. You know what I'm saying? That's why the hoes go up the way they do. You know what I'm saying? But that's another conversation for another review. But either way, he's sweating all over her. He hurry up and sneaks the condom on so she couldn't see what he was working with. Then he slips it in. She didn't know if it was in or not. And then he gives her all, these little short dick pumps that she not even really feeling like that. And he's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, doing all of that shit. She like, what the fuck? Like, his eyes are closed. He's nervous. He doesn't know what to do. He's uncomfortable. And because he doesn't know how to handle the situation, he just dives in. just dives in. He's not paying attention to her or what she needs in the moment. It's not until he's looking for validation that he did a good job that he actually pays attention to the fact that she's not happy. And he asks her how she feels. And she's like, how I feel about what? Okay, you ain't even see how I was feeling this whole time. This shit went by so fast. Kind of nigga don't know that you just did a bad job when you nutted in less than 5 minutes. How you don't know you did a bad job? How you don't know that? That shit didn't even last but 2 seconds. How the fuck you didn't know? Talking about, yeah, I love it when you call me Big Papa and she and all of that. Like, give me a motherfucking break. Like, what are you, 16? How could you not know that she wasn't enjoying that? It's because you have no care whatsoever for how she feels. It's not about how she feels. It's only about how she feels when it comes to manipulating her or acquiring her. So that's what when women be talking about niggas being disingenuous, okay? And don't get me wrong, of course there are women that are disingenuous emotionally. Like, they will try to be with a man who has money and they know they really not feeling him, okay? But I feel like when women do it, they a lot of times, in Robin's situation, you're doing it because you're hoping if you give another type of man a chance, you'll get a different result. It's not so that you can trick them into falling for you. And to me, when he then turns around and realizes, when he's looking for validation, that she was not pleased, and he asked her what she wanted, and she told him, I just want to be happy. I want to take long weekends. I want to, go out to eat every now and again. I want to have a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that lady was asking for nothing too difficult, nothing too tough at all. Like, if you love your person and y'all like being together and y'all both working and making money, there's no reason why y'all wouldn't go out to eat when y'all got home from work. There's no reason why y'all wouldn't go on trips when y'all, got the money together and the time off. There's no reason why y'all wouldn't do those things together. So that's not something that, that's not a hard ask. But it's a hard ask when you've only been with men who want to be with you for sex. And Robin being a beautiful woman, men only usually want to be with her for sex, or so she can be an arm piece, so she can be propped in front of other men like, oh, look at my pretty thing that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way they see her. And she wants someone that actually cares about what she wants and what she wants to do. And he said that he could give her that. And in the moment, she allowed herself to be vulnerable to him. And then she instructed him on how to make love to her. And she actually allowed for herself to be in it and enjoy it, right? It worked out for her in that moment. We're going to come back to them. But just remember that, right? Because I feel like that was a real moment. I don't feel like in any way, shape, or form Robin was being disingenuous about her feelings. She wasn't really into him, but she was gonna try, right? They, because usually women have experienced this. You don't be that attracted to somebody, but they're persistent. They have other things that you like about them. You may not be as attracted, and then you have sex with them, and the sex is good, and then that's like, okay, well then you start to feel differently because dick is dickmatizing. Okay, if dick is good, you will change your mind about somebody. You could have not really been that interested in a nigga and let him put some magnificent dick on you and watch how you'll change your mind. Or let him eat the box real good. Watch you'll change your mind. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she's a walking trophy. Exactly. But it worked out in that moment. But I say all that to say, as much as men like Michael will reduce Robin down to being a woman that only wanted him for his money and what he can do for her. You see what I'm saying? But it wasn't really like that. You know what I mean? So moving on, Savannah goes to see Bernadine, and she's watching an anniversary party video of her and John. And she thought that she said, I thought if I gave him what he needed, he would give me what I needed. But she let him control too much of her life, and she can't pretend like it's all his fault. That's the accountability moment. Do you hear it? Do you hear the woman taking accountability? Y'all remember how a lot of those men talk about, oh, y'all, they use Waiting to Exhale as a movie to show how women would bash men, right? Instead of women showcasing the pain and the discomfort that they've been in our society for a while now, being the lesser of the humans. Okay, that's how we've been treated. We literally are still fighting for y'all to leave us the fuck alone and pay us the equal amount of money that y'all give to other people for the exact same for men for the exact same job. We're arguing with y'all right now for equal pay, and we're arguing with y'all for control over our bodies. We don't live in a world where everybody's equal. I just finished watching a video where I heard somebody say men and women are not equal. Okay, because they don't do the same things in life, so they're not equal. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's still a conversation that we're having. It's a setup. It's a setup, if you ask me. You put women in a position to feel like they should want a man to take care of them. Everybody talking about, oh, I want a man to provide and protect so I can submit. And really, what it turns out being is I want to not have to do anything. I want him to do all of this like money making shit for me so I can just chill and be mother and be wife and do those things. So those things are hard too. It's not just chilling. But then what you find is that there's something missing in that, because that's not really about you. That's you deciding to be of service to other people and foregoing whatever your passion and your need for yourself is. It's giving up something in exchange for money. And money is not that valuable. I'm sorry, y'all. Money is not that valuable. It does not equal to giving up your life's purpose, dream, whatever. That's not it's not equal. It's not equal, because the men don't have to give up that so that they can have family and wives and someone to love. They don't have to give up any of that for that. So why should women? Why? Just because we have different parts, or because we have the babies? Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Because eventually those kids leave and women still need something for themselves. Like I said, because look at where Gloria is in her life. Her son is about to leave. She needs something for herself. She needs the complete picture for herself. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, Savannah talks about how she took a pay cut to see if she can produce when, that's the reason why she came out there to Arizona. And she tells Bernadine, some of us are still on that dream trip, girl. Some of us are still out here striving for our dream, and we're finding all of this fulfillment in it. And yes, you want partnership, but sometimes what partnership with men feels like is having to give up what feels good for you, so that you can fit into a mold for him, so that the world will view him as a man. Because if you're not submitting, if you're not giving up your autonomy, then the world isn't going to see your man as a man, right? It is really fucked up when you think about it. A lot of the things that women do when they submit to men is for the image of men to other men. It's not really for the betterment of their relationship. It's not even good for the dynamics of the relationship. But what matters to the man is how he's viewed to other men, and how his relationship and his marriage and his family is a part of the image that he's projecting. That's what's important. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who that is. When Bernadine and Savannah sit on the rooftop of that fucking house, and you see how amazing that house is, the sunset, and they drinking wine and holding hands and admitting to each other that they're scared. The other thing about this movie was teaching women the value of other women. Thank you. What is it? K-Marie? I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you for the Cash App. At this point in my life, I have found myself having bonds with not only, the women my age in my life, but also paying attention to the women in my family. And how, as dysfunctional as we all may be, we're all there. Like at these family functions, those of us that have always been like this are still there, and the feeling is us like this. You see what I'm saying? And it's still mostly women. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's still something like so amazing and magical about the support that women give to each other. And I, in my own friendships and my friends being there for me and me being there for my friends, it has been another place of extreme fulfillment for me as somebody that has not always had good girlfriends for long periods of time, or for just not in my adult years. In my early 20s, I felt like I didn't have any real girlfriends like that. And now into my 30s, they're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm actually making friends now in my 30s, which is crazy. You don't think, but it's cool because I'm at a place in my life where I am, I feel like a person that can be a good friend. I'm at a good space in my life where I could be of value to anybody who I decide to be in contact with. So to have that be reciprocated from other women and to be there for each other in hard times, whether that's, me being there for them or them being there for me, it is extremely fulfilling to me. And now I've realized that, friendships come and go. Absolutely. We are internet friends, Bonnie. Y'all absolutely are. Know this. And some of y'all have become my friends because y'all are my internet friends. You know what I'm saying? Like the ladies on the panel, like those are my girls. You know what I'm saying? Like we really fuck with each other in a real way. When Jay Lee got sick, we were like, where the fuck is Jay Lee? You know what I'm saying? Me and Jamie and Nisi, talk about personal shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like it definitely is like a friendship like that. When we tell y'all we really friends like that, like that's how we feel about each other. Um, and I have my other friends in real life that I have those relationships with. And like I said, it has been the most beneficial, beautiful thing for me. And that's why I feel like a part of this movie is making women realize that they really need to be better to the other women around them, because men may come and go. You know what I'm saying? Men are fickle. Men are not always what they need to be because of the way society conditions them to just have everything placed at their feet because they're the men. And they're in charge of the world. But women just are amazing within ourselves. Like we're capable of so much emotional and mental understanding. And I think the way we benefit each other as friends can sometimes be some of the most beautiful, fruitful, beneficial relationships that we can have. You know what I'm saying? And you can get your dick. You know what I'm saying? But who do you want to go to brunch with? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Cheryl, you can't be serious. Thank you so much for the super chat. So happy I caught this live. Me too. I'm glad y'all are here. I'm really enjoying the conversation because it's so many things, right? That it's real life situations that I feel like we should definitely be talking about. And women having support systems amongst each other is one of those things that I feel like is really underrated and undervalued. Okay, because a good girlfriend, and I mean a good one, not no I'm low-key jealous of you, bitch, but a real one that even if she does feel away at any point, she won't let that affect how she treats you or y'all's relationship. Just because she going through it, she'll recognize it's her shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like people that correct, because I think in friendships you go through things, but when you have friends that keep wanting to have that friendship with you and correct when things are weird or energy's fucked up or things are confusing or you said something and something happened where I was feeling this way, and we can come together and talk and be like, oh no girl, I felt like this, and then well you felt like, oh I felt like that, well I ain't mean it when I that type of shit, that is valuable as fuck. Valuable as fuck, y'all. Friends like that you can really, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing about this movie that I feel like you're paying attention to it, but you're really not. Like you're not getting it until you get it. And then I feel like once you get it, you then understand how amazing this movie really was. You see what I'm saying? Think about it, y'all. They all held each other accountable. At one point or another, they all had conversations where they was telling the other one some shit they did not want to hear, but it was the truth and it was what they needed to hear in order for them to move forward. And they were all able, in that pitch in the middle, they're all able to move forward happily in life because they took accountability for the mistakes that they were making, and they had homegirls near them to love them, support them, and then call them to task about the shit they was fucking up on. Okay? When y'all be out here talking about y'all want y'all friends to go along with y'all bullshit, you know what I'm saying? You are really not realizing how you are shortchanging yourself by not wanting to deal with the real of the situation. You will not grow to your fullest capability if you too fucking scared to hear the truth about who you are and what you need to do for yourself to be better. Period. So, and of course, I feel like that goes along with how your friends say shit and all of that, but y'all know what I mean, essentially. So Gloria's baby daddy comes over and he's supposed to be seeing their son Tariq, but Tariq isn't there. He said that Gloria looked healthy. I said that was shade. And then he doesn't realize seemingly, I thought it was weird that when he was sitting there, he was kind of like, well, you look healthy. And he's kind of sitting there waiting. And she's like, he's like, well, where's Tariq? And she's like, oh, he's not here, but he'll be here tomorrow. Like you could tell that she kind of like tricked him, but then you could also tell that he kind of expected her to try to fuck him. He did. He expected it. And then once he realized that's what it was, he gets up to walk away like almost disrespectfully. I feel like, yeah, she was tricking you to fuck you, but ultimately the last time you was there, you fucked her. Did you not? Okay. Anyway, he says as if he said, I don't know why I keep doing this. Thank you, Crystal, for the cash app. He said, I don't know why I keep doing this. He's almost grown. What the fuck do you mean you don't know why you keep coming to see your son that you're not even there for? That nigga was fucked up. Okay, something was wrong with him. All like gayness, bisexuality aside, something was wrong with David. David needs therapy because the fact that David thinks that he doesn't, the fact that was a thought. Oh, you don't understand why you keep coming to see the son that you hardly ever see. You really do think your absolute bare minimum of coming to drop in, fuck your ex and see your son for a day or two over the past, decade? You feel like that was enough and that he should have been responding to that. Right. Okay. Oh Lord, Eccentric Rain, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for this live. Watching this movie as an adult, there are so many nuances. There are. Ooh, Celebrity Chef Dinner May 19th. Ooh. I was always big confused by them mentioning Gloria's weight because I never saw her as big. Because in Hollywood, she was not. She's had big titties. Thank you, Latoya, for the super chat. Finally caught it live. Thanks for the awesome content. Oh, no problem. I love you guys. What? Hold on. I want to see what you said. My therapist told me to have the hard conversations regardless if I want to or not because it helps a lot. That yes, my therapist tells me the same thing and it's still so hard. Thank you, Kaylina, for the super chat. Bondy, you are a literal angel. You don't know how on point this conversation is for me. I filed for divorce 2 days ago. Bless everybody in the chat and most of all bless you. Oh, thank you so much. And prayers out to you, love, because I know you've been in the Discord. We've been talking about it, right? I'm gonna pray for you, girl, but stay encouraged and stay lifted. Move forward. Life is changing and that's a blessing. Think about it like a breath of fresh air, the beginning of something new. But I know how sad it can be, so as she says that he can stay there like he did last time, he admits to her that he didn't respond to her the last time because he's been bisexual for years. So he didn't tell her that. And then he says he's not anymore, he's gay. So you couldn't just tell her that you're gay. You had to remind her about how you were turned off by her. And initially you allowed for her to think it was her weight. And then you come in here today talking about she looks healthy, throwing shade at her weight. So you were comfortable. This is the shit that pisses me off. Yes, Gloria was thirsty for the dick. That's the only thing that she is wrong for in this moment, being thirsty for the dick and ignoring everything else. Yeah, she's wrong for that. But ultimately, this man is okay with blaming her and her weight on why he was not sexually attracted to her. And then turns around and tells her that he's gay. So to me, he's conflating those things together and she's going to draw them together in her mind. So it's like he can't take full accountability for the fact that he was fucked up in making her think that he was actually into her. Nigga, you fucked up for not raising your son the way you supposed to. And you got the audacity to, almost kind of look down on this woman like, oh, girl, you wanted to fuck me? Ugh. God, let me just let you know, girl, I'm gay. I don't want it. Okay. And you're looking healthy these days. Okay. But yeah, I'm here to see Tyreek. And if he doesn't want to see me, then I'm gonna go ahead and go back home. Okay. Let him know I'll be at the hotel until noon tomorrow. If I don't hear from him, I'm out of here. Okay. How bitch made was that? Y'all, he could have kept it a buck with her and still had care for her in some way, especially considering the fact that you're a fucking deadbeat. Thank you. You're a deadbeat. And you got the audacity to have an attitude with this lady and treat her with this like callousness. It was fucked up. There was no reason that you look healthy. Why not you look good? You look good. That would have been nice. You look healthy? That was a reference to her weight. So he had to make her feel bad and then tell her that he was gay. And then also say, I know I've been doing the bare minimum for our son, but I can't be bothered. So if he's not going to come and try, then I'm just going to go ahead and go, even though I haven't really been trying. Boy, fuck you. Moving on. So y'all, Lionel called Savannah and he's trifling too. Doesn't have a real job, chain smokes reefer, brags about being a vegetarian, and then inhales hot dogs. So you're a liar, you're a weed head, and you don't have any money. And listen, there's nothing wrong with being a weed head as long as you have a job, have money, and don't lie about being a vegan. Okay? So that was the least of the fucked up shit. But still, like all those things together tells me you're a bum. But she says that she gave him $20 to put gas in her car, came up to like $6 and some cents, and he didn't give her her change back. So you're also a thief. And then, she was like, listen, it's been 10 months. Okay, I think she said it's been 10 months and she had sex. She was like, my body needs this shit. So regardless of the fact that he ain't shit, I need the dick. Okay? I know he ain't shit. I just need the dick. Cool. Why was he using her toothbrush, nasty motherfucker? Throw it out. He comes and lays on top of her, no foreplay, nothing. Lays on top of her, pushes the dick in, does all these weird faces. Once again, not checking in to see how she feels about it. Not seeing how she feels about the dick at all. Just all it is about him. He needed to get his rocks off. He don't rub his little dick on her. You know what I'm saying? Skeet, skeet, skeet. And now she's a keeper at the fucking zoo. So we're not calling Lionel back because we were letting you get away with all of this bum shit and you don't even have good dick. And that's another thing. Like, you niggas don't even realize you're a toss-up. No matter what we do, your dick is a toss-up. Women are always going to make you bust. At the end of the day, if you are sexually attracted to a woman when you meet her, she can make you bust a nut. We can be sexually attracted to y'all, and you will absolutely get on top of us and rub your little dick in the inside of our leg, think you did something, and we will be laying there feeling confused and physically upset. Just all kind of ways upset. You got the finishing line, and that's the norm. There are more women not having orgasms than women who are. You niggas, y'all, sex don't end without y'all busting a nut. There's rarely a time where a man can say, yeah, I didn't finish because I was just turned off. If you didn't finish, it's because your dick not working no more, and you need to go get that checked out. But the fact that women have to deal with you niggas being a toss-up when we're a sure thing, that's another reason why nobody should be out here just taking any old thing from you niggas. And y'all acting like sex between us is an equal trade. You want to talk about something not being equal? You want to talk about something not being equal? There is not an equal expectation that both people are going to be pleased at the end of this encounter. So why should I even engage? What? She went through all that with the expectation that the sex was going to be good. And it wasn't. You niggas do all of the shit y'all do, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to bust a nut. And we sometimes can't even get that. Talk about motherfucking equity, equality. Fuck out of here. Okay? We should be treated better than you. We should. I'm sorry. There are too many factors. There are too many factors. Okay? Since y'all want to be out here being unbalanced. We was trying to share, but y'all don't know how to act. Okay? Anyway, child, all of the makeup during this time frame wasn't that great. the 90s was a terrible time for pigment in makeup. So anyway, Bernadine smacked the shit out of John's mistress Kathleen in the middle of a meeting at his office. She says that she had been to the bank and saw that he cleaned out all of their accounts. She asked, what is she supposed to do for money? And he says that he gave her the house, now she can sell it. Now this was him getting revenge on her for burning up all his shit, and then the stuff that she didn't burn, she she sold it for like $1. You know what I mean? And he was really upset about that. And I'm like, son, the fact that you left all your shit home with her when you decided to leave to go home to the woman you were leaving her for, that's on you. That's on you. Do you know that whenever a woman is going to leave a man, she usually has her shit with her already? She's already out the door. Normally, women will never tell a man they're going to leave them before they actually leave them, because we can't trust that you niggas won't destroy our shit, or that you niggas are going to act right when we tell you that we leaving. So the fact that he had the gall to leave all of his shit there with her after giving her his ass to kiss, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, but that was stupid on your part. I'm still not gonna be mad at her for burning up your shit. It felt like justice of some sort to me. Tammy Gordon, thank you so much for the super chat. Nothing but love. Preach, Bondy. I'm on one today. Okay. His Melody Hope, i.e. Melody Hope, planning her stuff on Martell. All smart women plan their exit strategy, because we cannot trust that you niggas will act right, because y'all view y'all women as objects. Like, no matter what anybody wants to say, you view your woman as your possession. So whenever your possession decides she doesn't want to be there anymore, we don't know what y'all might do, and y'all stronger than us, so we don't know. Okay, but y'all know we can't do nothing to y'all, and a lot of y'all presume we won't stab your ass. So yeah, you're gonna leave all your shit at the house with her when you go off and ride into the sunset, and then won't be mad about the shit that got burnt up in the process. Boy, you dumb. But yeah. She reminds him that she started the company. He says, oh, now here we go with that again. She says, now you think you can just take the money and run? He says, business hasn't been good for years, but don't worry, you'll get what's coming to you. She says, oh, I'm not worried. You, on the other hand, should be. And he thought about that for a second, and he backs it up and he says, listen, let's not let things get uglier than they already have. Then security comes in, and she says, what, you gonna kick me out, Jeff? Meaning that she knows security on a first name basis. But you see how everybody switches up, huh? Okay. John says, I'm willing to give you $300,000, in cash today. And she was like, your children are not for sale. And he says, oh yeah, I'll be by to come and get my kids. Now you're using the kids against her. And then everybody will act like it's a mutual thing. But the fact that you said to her right after y'all had this conversation, oh yeah, and I'm coming to get my kids, that was a checkmate. And she told you, and if you got them kids anywhere around that bitch, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. She's angry. She should be. So we find out Michael is being, hold on. First of all, Gloria finds her son getting his dick sucked by some white girl. So, a whole bunch of emotions going on there. She says, if your daddy wasn't gay, I'd send your black ass straight to him. And she slipped because, of course, her son does not know that his daddy is a queer, as he screamed out into the, into the backyard. Father's a queer. Fuck, going off or whatever. Of course, he was embarrassed, but he has an angry indifference to his father because his father hasn't been there for him. So it was almost like, oh, that's hilarious. Okay, on top of the fact that you weren't there for me, now you're embarrassing me by being gay. That was basically how he felt. But he's supposed to be going out of town to Spain for to be a part of a orchestra, because he plays the saxophone, and she's scared to let him go, of course, because he's her companion, and if he's gone, then she's really by herself and she doesn't have anyone, and she's made her whole life about him. So what the fuck she gonna do? So you see how you will stop your children from living out their dreams and the things that they should be doing with their life. Like, you a black boy from Arizona. Girl, if you don't send that nigga to Spain and let him see some other things and experience other things in life, I can't imagine anybody would think that's a bad thing for a 17-year-old to get that type of opportunity, unless you're a mother that has centered your life on your son and see him leaving as you being, thrusted out into the world and, alone, basically. And you should never like put that type of pressure on your children. Like, no, you should never be that scared of being alone. I'm sorry, you really shouldn't. Figure it the fuck out, but don't be that scared to be alone, girl. They got way too much shit for you to be out here doing. They got too many people on the internet you can talk to, girl. Niggas be on live 24/7, okay? All over the place. Anyway, y'all, Michael is being petty at work with Robin, over checking mistakes and shit. She was like, oh, now you want to do your job? You know what I'm saying? So now we see that things have soured between Michael and Robin, and we didn't really get to see how. Bernadine has to go see a lawyer, and she says that she just wants to be okay. She's not asking for a lot. She's like, I'm not trying to get rich off this. I just want to be okay. And after she leaves the lawyer's office, she goes to get a haircut. And Gloria didn't want to cut her hair because she'd been growing her hair for 11 years. She was like, oh, now Gloria's sitting there with short hair her damn self, but don't want to cut her hair. That's another thing, how attached y'all be to long hair. Do y'all know how many people, as bad as I am, as beautiful as I am, they will not look at me because my hair isn't long? I don't care, but I'm just saying I've noticed it. And I also feel like, man, fuck you. It's hot as monkey pussy out here. And I work out every day. Like, what I look like worrying about how you feel about my hair? I know my nigga like it. Okay? And that's really all that matters. But that's how much people be tied into other people's hair. You know what I'm saying? And so she a hairstylist with a pixie cut and arguing with Bernadine about cutting her hair off. Okay? So they cut the hair off only after Bernadine had to cut the hair her damn self for her to do it. And then they go down to the bar, okay? Because now it's time to have a good time. All right, we down to the club after work. Dance. Okay? Bernadine finds her a married man who used to play pro ball to go and flirt with. And she ended up starting an affair with him. She really didn't mean to. She just meant to get her back scratched a little bit. And he got pussy whipped and start, paging her all hours of the day and night, showed up at her house unannounced. Her daughter answered the door. Girl, that freaked her out, right? And then we see Michael in a club with another woman. And she was like, did you see Michael? And Robin was like, fat fuck. I was like, about that man like that? You let him lay on top. You don't call him fat now. But either way, basically she said that they had only been talking for a couple of weeks and he was talking marriage, and so she dropped him. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it was because he was pressuring her, because he has the thirst to procure her, because it's not about getting to know her, it's not about really forming a bond with her, because he's insecure. So he would much rather dangle money in front of her. Okay, like it's like, hurry up, here's the money, hurry up. And then if you don't come and get in the box fast enough, the nigga is mad. You know what I'm saying? So I personally feel like his attraction to her wasn't about getting to know her, and him rushing her made her feel away. Because it's like, nigga, first of all, I'm already not even into you like that, and now you rushing me. Like, if you can hurry up and rush me into a relationship, that means I can't leave you. But that was what he was doing, which is why it felt uncomfortable for her. Yes, and he's that type. He's the high value man, right? He's the one with money. He's the one that, they want you pretty girls to give a break and be with. But those men don't really see you as a person. They don't really care about you like that. And another thing is that stop expecting people to be with you if they're not attracted to you, because they should care about your feelings. Fuck you. No, I'm attracted to who I'm attracted to. You are attracted to who you are attracted to. And if the person you are attracted to is not attracted to you, then you need to move on to the next person and find somebody else to be attracted to. Because attraction in relationships has to work both ways. And a lot of you niggas feel like as long as you're attracted to the woman, that's all that matters. I don't see any men with women that they're not attracted to. Not really. Unless they're using them for another reason. You do not see men laying up, fucking on women, being in relationships with them just for money. They may say that, but they're enjoying the sex part. And a lot of times women are not even enjoying the sex part. We just laying down there to do our job. Thank you, Dion McKenzie, for the super chat. Bondy, please do a reaction to the Players Club. Oh, that's on the list. Hold up, y'all. My dogs are acting crazy. Let me make sure that they're not, chasing the neighbors. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to, because I've been talking for a minute. We getting there, y'all. It's good though. I'm glad y'all enjoying it, because I hate that I'm on here for this long, but y'all know how it is when I'm on live. I just be talking my ass off. Anyway, so Bernadine then finds out that John has been hiding assets, like I told y'all. She said, "Do you know her and Gloria are at like the horses, the races or whatever, but there's like a Ferris wheel and all of this shit." So Bernadine tells Gloria that she found out through her investigation this nigga John had an apartment building, 200 acres of land in California, and a vineyard in Arizona that she did not know about. And he was offering her $300,000 and the house and told her to sell it. Y'all. So you gonna cheat on this woman, make her put her life on the back burner, leave her for the white girl, and then after using her to get to the place that you are, you don't even want to be fair about the money? She got 2 of your kids, and you don't even want to be fair with her about the money. That's how you niggas are. That's how y'all are. How unfair is that? You hurt her. You cheated on her. You left her. You did her wrong. You used her. You allowed for her to put her shit on the back burner. You requested that she put her dreams behind her for you. You made her not have any money. And now you're going to turn around and offer her $300,000 while you're hiding 200 acres of land in fucking California? In a wine vineyard? In an apartment complex? That's passive income. That's money coming in with you not doing nothing. Insane. Somebody walking around and shit, and I hear my dogs barking. I just want to make sure they're not, moving. Like the unmitigated gall, the entire, like that's insane, y'all. Insane. All he had to do is be like, "Look, Bernie, I don't want to be together no more. And I just want to split everything down the middle and go." That lady would have been hurt, but it would have went down. Look at the way you did her. He dogged her out. And y'all act like niggas don't do this shit. Niggas do this shit. Y'all, I know somebody personally. It ain't on this scale, but he wouldn't have none of this shit without her. And he's still trying to act like what he has is only his. It's only his. Even though he wouldn't have it if it weren't for her. But he's still trying to act like, "Oh, you trying to take stuff from me." Not, this is our shit that we need to now split up since we're leaving each other. We're leaving. We're parting ways. Niggas who don't have nearly as much money do this type of stuff to their BMs, to their ex-wives. Do you hear me? In real life, I know somebody right now that's going through this. That we sitting up there looking at the nigga like, what are you even talking about? Because he don't want to have to give her anything. Mary Sparkle's like, well, thank you for the super chat. He's a piece of shit. This makes me so sad because audacity like this is so rampant with these ninjas in real life. That's what I'm saying. That's why the shit that's see, they'll act like the shit that was on Waiting to Exhale is some type of over exaggeration. It is not. It is not. It's not. Okay. Anyway, moving along from there. So they discussed, what happened with Bernie and the married man. And Gloria says, you wrong. And she said, see, Gloria, that's why I didn't want to tell you. I'm not like you. I need somebody to hold me, even if it is a goddamn lie. And Gloria was like, oh, you're not like me. Oh, okay. Right. And that was hurtful. That was hurtful. And she was fucked up for that. You know what I'm saying? That shit was hurtful. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what does that even mean? I'm not like you. So you think I'm over here like ignoring married men hitting on me because I don't need affection? Like, what you think going on? I understood what she meant though, but still, it was tough. That was a hard thing. I mean, first of all, it was hard for Gloria to tell her she was wrong, but it was also wrong for her to turn around and try to act like in some way that making a better decision, she just couldn't make a better decision because she needed that so much. No. You made a bad decision because you felt like somebody fucked over my marriage. Why I can't fuck over there? Somebody else's marriage. He won't fuck me, so what? I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta go get them because I hear them too loudly and I don't know what's going on. And last time I stayed up here, the nigga fucked up my air condition. So I'll be right back. Yeah, y'all. The other day, y'all, they broke my air conditioner, Barack. So anyway, thank you for the super chat. I side-eye Michael Beach to this day. He was always cheating. He was. He cheated on soul food too. Thank you, Caramel Amazon 61 for the super chat. Love you, Bondy. This live is amazing. We always taller than most as a young woman and withdrawn. Was always taller than most as a young woman and withdrawn. Came into my own as an older person and the help of my childhood friend who is all about her shit. Movie helped me look deep. All right. I love that. Thank you. Oh, I love y'all. All right. So back into it. Robin goes out with Troy, who she's only been knowing for 3 days. He takes her to a party of mostly white people who are doing cocaine. Some white girl bumps into her hella hard, almost like she did it intentionally. I was like, okay, peep the microaggression. Then she sees him buying cocaine from his white homeboy. She makes him take her home because this ain't some shit she's into. And then he tells her that he wants her to meet his mother and that he's serious about her. And look how women can be manipulated with feeling like they matter enough to a man to be introduced to his mother, and niggas know that. So what does the drug addict Troy go around doing to women, telling them that they're going to meet his mom as a way to make them feel special and to make it seem like he's taking them more seriously than he actually is? You know what I'm saying? And because Robin is coming from dealing with Michael and Russell, who she feel like don't see her and don't really take her seriously. Okay. Like as a woman and as a person, either I'm a sex doll or I'm arm candy. Whichever one, it's not you seeing me as a woman and as a full person. And now this man is like, I'm really into you and I want to take you to meet my mother. So it's coming off like it's deeper than, everything else. And then, he was sexually attractive, and, he kissed her hand with that heavy ass bottom lip, giving like he know how to give good slop. Anyway, I would just say, like, if he wasn't on cocaine in that hot ass leather vest all this time before without the drug, that nigga was definitely giving, he had an energy about himself. Troy had an energy about himself that I could see why she would have had sex with him. But this is why I say I understand Robin, because like you be out here with these niggas with this Delilah energy. They ain't shit. They ain't got nothing good going on with them, but they make you feel wanted, or they make you feel like they have passion for you, or they make you feel needed. You know what I'm saying? And that feels good for women, especially when women are single or don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, any attention from a man can be welcomed because you just want to feel good for the moment. But what you don't realize is that with a lot of these niggas, they're going to lie. They're going to lie, and then you're going to allow them in the moment. You're going to be vulnerable with them. They're going to lie. And then you're going to end up being mad. And that's what happened. Like, she ignored everything else. Like, you saw him buying cocaine today, and you really going to just let that slide out your head because he, basically Delilah energy your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is, put the dick on you, She said maybe she could be a good influence on him. So maybe you can stop him from being a cokehead. Okay, good talk. So, girl, not Savannah calling Troy a crackhead. Then Russell calls, and Lord Leon, baby, you can call on me anytime that you feel the need. And I'll be there in a hurry, giving you the best of me. And maybe I'll keep it nice and wanna satisfy. And maybe that I am always hot for you. And if there's any kind of love that will exemplify, my sweetie, I have got that kind of love times two. Boy, I'll do you all night long. Do you any way you want. Yo, that's my song. Anyway, so because that's the music that was playing when Leon was like, why you standing all the way over there? Come here. I hate this nigga. Okay, so fast forward. Troy shows up to Robin's house high and drunk, 2 hours late. Okay. And she like, Troy, I'm not going nowhere with you. You show up here all high, drunk, wearing a leather jacket in the summertime, neat and shaved, stinking. He like, come on, man, can I use the bathroom? She like, fuck no, you can't use my bathroom, nigga. Just trying to come in here so you can rub your dick on my thigh and Delilah energy me. No, nigga, you're not going to Delilah energy me. Stay your ass down there. So as soon as she said, no, I'm not letting you in because you came here 2 hours late and you're high and drunk, like, she's being reasonable in this moment. She should not go with him. It doesn't matter. He's 2 hours late. He's high. He's drunk. She should not go. He says, what am I supposed to tell my mom and my son? She said, son? How old is this son? 13. So you wanted her to meet your mom and your son, and you haven't even told her about your son. So this is the thing you do, having women meet your family to make them think they're special so that you can use them. Okay. Clock that. Then he says, all you black bitches are the same. Complain about white women. Okay? Talking about we don't know how to treat you. But as soon as a brother show you genuine interest, you bitches act simple. I'm sorry. Are you telling me that I'm stupid because I won't go to meet your mother, your son who I did not know about, when you showed up 2 hours late and are obviously high and drunk outside of my house calling me a black bitch? I'm sorry. There is nothing simple about that. And that's what you niggas do. That's what y'all do. Y'all come and talk to black women like this, disrespectfully, comparing us to white women after crossing boundaries with us. But because you can't deal with us not being okay with you crossing our boundaries, you want us to just acquiesce, right? Fuck the fact that I'm not going on a date with a man that's 2 hours late. You want me to be okay with your disrespect, and I'm not, and you're upset. So now you're going to throw a white woman in my face, right? So then there comes we're comparing you to white women and then blaming you for why we prefer white women over you. Because see, look, you don't take us disrespecting you. You should take this from us. We won't take it from you because we're men, but you should take it from us because we're men and you're a woman. Y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna stop acting like this is not the same shit that they talking about on this manosphere. It's the same shit that they telling y'all. Lower your standards. Stop being upset when people are disrespecting you. Stop being bothered by men taking advantage of you. Stop asking for them to take accountability. Stop taking accountability for your own life and furthering your career and getting your degrees and making a lot of money. Stop doing that, because now you're making yourself, even better. And now what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to keep convincing you that you're not good enough for what you want, so I don't have to do more so I can meet your standards? I think y'all are mind fucking us, but essentially I feel like y'all are a whole bunch of lazy ass men that don't want to do what needs to be done. So you want your woman to do it for you. And then when she starts to figure out that you're using her, you get mad and try to do mind tricks on her and make her think she's crazy, and then compare her to white women. I mean, you really hit us upside the head a whole bunch of different ways in hopes that we will just give up and be like, you know what? I'm tired of fighting. You're right. But no, I'm not. I'm not going to just give up and say I'm tired of fighting. I'm going to be like, I'm tired of fighting. Please get away from me. Go on away from me with this. Or I'm going to ghost your ass. Disappear. I'm gone. Okay? All right? I'm glad she hit him with the orange. Okay? Forget you. Moving on. Child, when Gloria met Gregory Hines' little fine ass. Okay? He was here for all of the meat on the bones. R.I.P. to Gregory Hines. He was here for all of the meat on the bones. Okay? Bernadine is battling John in court. It isn't looking great. And then she meets James, the civil rights attorney down to the bar, a married man who's married to a white woman who is dying of cancer. Okay? He is thoroughly enamored with Bernadine. They end up going back to his hotel room, or her hotel room, whichever one it was. They were both staying in a hotel. And he tells her that he has to be honest with her, that his wife, who he loves so much, who is dying, is a white woman. And he spoke so highly of his wife, how much he loved her, how grateful he was for her, how he watches her trying to stay strong for him. But at the same time, he is finding himself completely wrapped up in Bernadine's strength. And honestly, as beautiful as they tried to make this moment seem, it was bullshit to me. Bernadine needed to find a man in another way. This was bullshit to me. You know why? Because it was the signaling that all of these black men, for the most part, with the exception of Marvin is the only man that ended up being worth some shit by the end of this, besides Gloria's son, which is yet to be determined. But either way, Marvin, Gloria's man, is the only good man standing at the end of this movie. Okay? He's the only one that came into the situation and was of benefit to the woman, right? James is supposed to be this example of a man that was able to see how amazing Bernadine was, right? And give her the option of a stranger that I met and had a night with. We didn't even have sex, but we connected and we were supportive of each other in some way. So even though his wife is not gone yet and she's dying, I'm still not over my divorce and I'm still healing. So maybe one day we can find each other and make magic here. And my wife who died was white. It made me feel like you're trying to tell me that most black women will not find a black man to treat them or think of them the way James thought of his white wife. There was a moment where let me go back. They go back to the hotel room. He tells her his wife, he loves her. She's the only woman he's ever loved. He would never leave her under any circumstances. That's what he said. She says, it hurts like hell. She says, someone used to feel that way about me and they stopped. So now you're sitting in front of a man who still feels that way about his white wife, while you as a black woman, your husband, who is leaving you for a white woman, he stopped loving you in that way. She asked him what he wanted to do. He said he wanted to make the night beautiful. They laid in a bed, held each other, and slept. Moving on, we'll come back. Kenneth shows up. That's, y'all know that is the State Farm man, the Allstate man. Hey, DeQuasia, thank you for the super chat. I like the scene with Bernadine and James because of the maturity and vulnerability that they had when they were expressing their personal issues. Yeah, but at the same time, and that's what I feel like they were trying to impart on us. But I still feel like that scene basically showed Bernadine being a resource to another black man so that he can go and pour into a white woman. That's what that scene gave me. We'll get back to it though. But yeah, it was maturity, but that was still the message to me. Okay. Oh, hey, Scotty. Thank you. Thank you, love. So Kenneth shows up, okay, talking about how he has so much to say to Savannah. I love the version of Shoop that they play in the background when she goes downstairs to go and meet him in her real cute apartment. Okay. Her cute townhouse girl. Shoop, 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 do well, my love now. Okay, listen. I love the way they play it. They bring the strings up and everything. It's beautiful. Babyface and them did a great job with the soundtrack once again. So Kenneth Kenneth is basically rewriting history. If you actually listen to the conversation that they have on the walk that they're having, he basically says, you stop talking to me. And she was like, what are you talking about? I didn't stop talking to you. Okay. You stop talking to me. All right. And he says that he was in love with her. And even though he's married and he loves his daughter, she's the only woman he's ever loved. So I'm feeling like he was married when was he married? No. They grew up together. Yeah, no. I think it's like more of a they grew up together situation than he was married when they got together. But I think he was somebody that was in her life early on before he got married. And I think he wanted to be with whoever he ended up with or whatever. So he was cheating back then. He was playing back then. And he ghosted her and then shows up now trying to act like it's the other way around. Niggas love doing that. Sitting up there talking about, oh, I just caught the hint that you didn't want to talk to me anymore. Oh, really? When was that communicated? Because the only time I remember is when you stopped answering my phone calls. But whatever, nigga. Anyway, they ended up, I can't believe it's real. Can't believe it's you. Okay, listen. I can't believe it's happening. Can't believe it's true. Fate. Oh, I love that song. Can't believe that you are here with me. And I am here with you. Kissing you. Kissing you. Kissing you. But yeah, Savannah finally got some worthy dick. And ain't that some shit? The good dick is attached to a married nigga. She had a whole bunch of single dick, bums, trash. The good dick, the accomplished, fine black man that you would want for yourself, married to another woman that he's lying, saying he's going to leave eventually. Girl, thank you, K-Rup, for the super chat. Okay, so Gloria's birthday. So fun, right? Her spitting on that cake, y'all. I was like, it's so disgusting. But y'all, they was drinking that liquor hit and motherfucking, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Love was always supposed to be something wonderful to me. To watch it grow inside yourself. To feel your heart beside itself. Sometimes it hurts to love so bad when you know you've given it all you can. Girl, do you hear me? That song makes me cry no matter where I hear it, okay? When Whitney, and I say Whitney because I feel like that was Whitney in that moment that said, child, when they make these songs, because that's the conversation. Like, you know, somebody had to go through this, and then you got Bernadine sitting over there smoking a cigarette down to the ashes. That motherfucker fucked up my life. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're drinking, them emotions come out. Then you got Aretha singing "It Hurt Like Hell," and bitch, it hurts like hell. I know if there is any chance for us to find our happiness, we've got to learn to let it go. Oh, forget everything we knew. Listen, the lyrics, okay? The lyrics. Anyway, but then, you know, it's like, girl. So they did some basic bitch shit. She mad. Let's call John. Why? It almost seemed like they called from a black neighborhood area code. And when she picked up the phone, she just saw black people area code. And it was like, John? John? Is that like, why the fuck you answering the phone, John? Like, that's the only person you could ever talk to. John? It's like, it's not John, bitch. Okay, shout out to the homegirl. Okay, it wasn't even, shout out to Robin, the homegirl that's mad on your behalf. Okay, listen, I am Robin, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, that's me. I'm Robin. So, oh, thank y'all. I love y'all. So Gloria pulls the phone out the wall, and she was like, "There's some shit I really needed to get off my chest." She's drinking. I thought this was supposed to be a party. Like, where happened to the music? You know what I'm saying? So then they put on Creep. So I creep. Yeah, just creep. And I always pay attention to the way Angela Bassett was killing that hip movement. I never noticed that Whitney was behind them. And I say Whitney because Whitney can't dance. So Whitney was behind them, just kind of like, because she couldn't do the hip. She couldn't do the hip like Loretta and Leela and them was doing. So she was just behind them with the shoulders. Y'all, that shit was so funny. I had never seen that before until I watched it last night. So y'all, Savannah is still fucking Kenneth. She calls her mom, who is struggling. Okay. And we're going to talk about that mama, y'all. So mom only got $67 in her account. All right. I don't know what the mama been through in her life, y'all. But the mama is struggling at this point, and she not even calling her daughter for help. All right. But she's also telling Savannah that Savannah needs to be with Kenneth. The whole time she's been, oh, he a good man. Girl, he coming down there on the 15th. Girl, you know what I'm saying? And it's because she don't want, you know, this is that black women dying alone and poor shit, right? So back in the day when women couldn't make a lot of money, especially poor black women, you know, they just couldn't acquire much. They couldn't acquire much. But they raised their daughters to do better than them. So their daughters, like Savannah, go out there and find their dreams and make money and live their lives. Hold up, y'all. Cause shit getting a little dark. So I think in essence, she raised her daughter to be what she could not be at the time. But out of the 80s, 90s, now we have progressive women that are in places now that they couldn't be in before. So where Savannah's mom, absolutely, that depiction that all of the men try to make y'all, you know, oh, you're going to be old and lonely and die alone. You know, they keep telling you that to make you feel bad about, you know, picking people or not, you know, not acquiescing to men who don't fit your criteria. You know what I'm saying? This is what they tell you. You know what I'm saying? You'll end up like Savannah's mom. Not accounting for the fact that Savannah's mom is only lonely and sad because that's how she's choosing to be. Savannah is single, yeah, and she might be alone at the end of her life, but do you see her being unhappy in a small little apartment, not having any money? No, because we're in different times now. We're in times now where women can make money. So we're not in the 70s, 80s, or even the 90s, where being a 60-year-old woman who didn't have a man that left her money will put her in a bad spot. Now we're in 2022, where women are out there making their own bag. And yeah, they may die alone, but they ain't gonna die unhappy. They'll die with a bag. I know that. When I see Savannah dying in later years, she'll probably have some goddaughter, some friend, somebody will be there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will be there at the end of it. She ain't gonna be at the house by herself when she died. Just like as much as Savannah's mom feels like she's gonna die alone, who she got to pick up the phone and call when she need? Her daughter. Because her daughter gonna come for her. So you're not alone. You're not gonna die alone. You're not out here fending for yourself. But if Savannah's mom were the type of woman that was active in her life and trying to find other ways to find happiness without it being about a man, like most women her age were raised to do, then she would be a part of church. She would be going play bingo. She would be going down shopping. She might be fucking a man down to the grocery store that she met every now and again. But her life is full, and ain't no being sad that I don't have a husband, because 9 times out of 10, even when those women have husbands, those men die. And a lot of times, you black men didn't have wills. Y'all didn't have a lot of money. Y'all didn't have no insurance policy. So those women end up being poor anyway. So yeah, a woman will acquiesce to a black man or to a man, period, and live her whole life making sacrifices for him. He'll have a heart attack in his 60s, not leave her with anything, and she'll still end up like Savannah's mama. Do you hear me? She will still end up like Savannah's mama if her mentality is like that. Her mentality being about a man is the reason why she's sad and alone. If her mentality was about her and making her own self happy, then regardless of her having a man, she would be finding a way to have a nice life. Y'all, my mom is a widow. My mom is in her 60s. My mom is a part of the church. Every time I talk to her, that lady is somewhere doing something. She still does hair every now and again. And she got her another little side job that she likes to do. She keeps herself busy. She goes on trips. She's a part of the church auxiliary. Okay. She helps in the community. She helps out with her family members. We go shopping. When her daughter needs somebody to go on a trip with, she can get on a plane and go on a trip with her daughter. Do you hear me? It ain't dying alone ain't what y'all think it is. Do you hear me? Dying alone ain't what you think it is. Everybody will die alone. It is really about the relationships you form in this life, the people that you are genuine with, the people that you pour into. You know what I'm saying? That lady ain't gonna never have to worry about nobody not knowing, if she all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't go, I be sitting up there like, oh Lord, it's been like a day or two. Let me call Tanya. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even like to let that much time go by. We usually kind of run across each other at least once a day. You know what I mean? But it ain't gonna never be like that. Do you hear me? That lady life ain't gonna. My mama has had my mom's life being so like easy in my eyes. Not saying she didn't have to work or didn't have hard times in life, but life has been terrible to some people. And my mom has retained her grace and resilience and beauty and comfortability and everything throughout everything we have went through. And I think it is a testament to her mentality about constantly and always being a woman that is for having something for herself, regardless. Okay. Just saying, when Iyanla tell y'all what y'all mama taught y'all, that's what my mama taught me. Okay. And some people mamas didn't know, so they couldn't tell them. So I'm on YouTube to tell you. Okay. So, so after Savannah's mom convinced her that she needed to be finding, being with Kenneth and all that, because she was like, I don't know if I can trust him. And she was like, girl, you sound crazy. And I was just like, what the fuck is that? Why would you tell her she sound crazy because she can't trust a man that you know is married? Like, what are you talking about, mama? And that's what I'm talking about. So male identified. All y'all worrying about is finding a man, having a man. And so you will give your daughter terrible advice. Terrible advice. All for the sake of keeping a nigga that ain't worth being kept. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Savannah married a porn addict in the sequel. Y'all know I read the book and totally forgot about everything that happened. I might reread it and we'll come and talk about it again. Marvin tells Gloria she needs to let Tyreek go to Spain. So I told y'all about this already, but Tyreek ends up going to Spain, and Gloria has this moment where she realizes that she had been making her son her companion and having that, what is it, covert, whatever the fuck it's called, incestuous emotional relationship with her son. And now that she has a man that's telling her that he finds her attractive, that he wants her, sucking the meat off her bottom lip, both of them. Okay. Now she can let him go because she has something else and she feels valued in another place. She feels valued in that place of having this man. But I am still gonna need for her because he died. He died. So I'm gonna need for her to find, I'm saying, something else. But I mean, honestly, men like Marvin are few and far in between on some shit. Like men who fix shit, like them a thick woman, respectful, come and be a part of your son's life, actually impart wisdom on him in a free way. You know what I'm saying? And not in a way that I'm doing this to get something out of it, but like I'm seriously like into this woman and I just want to, be a part of her life. Like that's how Marvin came into Gloria's life, seeing her for who she was and wanting to be a part of whatever she had going on and getting in where he fit in. They didn't even focus on it that much, but that was basically how that relationship was. That was the grace of God. Okay. And you know what else that made me feel like? That made me feel like as long as y'all out here basically being born again virgins, that someday God is going to send y'all a man like Marvin. Girl, go to hell. Y'all better get this dick. Don't be out here like Gloria not having no man. Mama got to have a life too, baby boy. Okay. Hopefully a Marvin will eventually come along, but y'all are not going to sell this TD Jakes bullshit to me. And I say that because y'all saw all of them Lifetime movies that TD Jakes and them made, misogyny and just terrible. It's terrible. As much as I be wanting to watch them because I love all of the black people that are in them, it's always some stupid message at the end that I'm like, no. I'm not going along with this bullshit that you're trying to teach me at the end of this fucking movie. This after school special fucked up ass story you're trying to teach me that has the the misogyny linked to it. Boy, go to hell. Anyway, Russell goes over to Robin's house and doesn't want to have sex because he just came from his wife having sex with her. And y'all, Robin was standing there in that lingerie. I want that lingerie. That shit was sexy. It was see-through, and at the bottom, it had, it like went all the way down to the bottom. It had like the black over the vagina part in the butt crack part, but all the rest of it was see-through. That shit was sexy. I was like, girl, I don't know if Fancy sell it, but I'm about to go look for it because that shit looked good on her body. I was like, oh, girl, I want one. But he didn't want to have sex because he went home and had sex with his wife, and now he's staying over there by her. I'm like, you should have stayed at home with your wife. Why the fuck you gonna come over here and climb in the bed with her if you ain't gonna give it a dick? Okay. And then Troy calls. So you're still talking to Troy after he threw an orange up there on your balcony. Okay. But she was like, I can't talk to you right now. And he was like, tell your little boyfriends don't be calling here after 11. And she was like, is he jealous? What a fucking joke. Just came home from fucking your wife and go sit up here and tell me who can call my house? The audacity. The audacity. Right, Russell, did you sleep with her? Look, I ain't gonna be getting questioned about what I'm doing with my own wife. Like, all right, then go home with your wife. The fuck? Y'all, these niggas. Anyway, but she gotta take responsibility. She letting this nigga lay up with her. Savannah and Robin talk about how Savannah is feeling about Kenneth and how she doesn't want to make him feel like she doesn't have any faith in him because she doesn't trust him when he says he's going to leave his wife, because she heard him on the phone with his wife talking to her, talking about, me too. And I have to come out here a few more times, but I'll be back home. I miss y'all. Like, he's talking to his wife and his daughter on the phone, like everything's hunky dory. But then he's telling Savannah and her mom that he's going to divorce his wife. And her mom, calling her mom on the phone, telling her mom all of the business and everything so that he can get her mom on his side to manipulate her into staying comfortable with being a side chick. Savannah, boss chick, producer, moving across the country with the sunset melting down, being there for her friend, shoulder pads, living her best life. You want her to sit still and be your side chick, and you called her mom to ask for help on that? Drop this nigga. Drop this nigga and his Allstate voice. Robin says that she saw a story on, one of the one of the talk shows, because they were talking about how she sounds just like one of the women from the talk shows. You're basically telling yourself that you should care about his feelings and making him feel less than a man because you're calling him out on the fact that he's lying to you. Like, that's insane, y'all. It's insane that they do this to us as women. Make us feel bad because we're starting to like react to the fact that we're being played. So this is when Robin says she saw a story about a woman who met a man. She moved to the city that he lived in, even quit her job. She found out she was 3 months pregnant, and he dumped her. And she ended up having an abortion. She never told anybody, not even her mom. Savannah says, but in the end, he left his wife, right? And she says, I don't know. I was never on Oprah. And that's when we realized that was how her and Russell started. Y'all, it's a mess. So yeah, okay. But they were there for each other, and it was a beautiful moment in that. But I also feel like it showed Savannah that it don't matter how you slice it, he's still married. So until he's no longer married, this situation is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Um, Russell goes over to Robin's trying to get in, and she's reading her childbirth choices pregnancy book. And he was like, what's that about? Look, he almost like he couldn't wait for her to say, I'm pregnant with your baby, so he could tell her that it ain't his. Like, it's like he was on go to tell her that the baby wasn't his, right? And she was like, I'm pregnant. It's yours. And no, I don't want shit from you. Look at me, read my lips, disappear like you always do. We don't need you in our lives. Now, y'all gonna make it seem like the woman is wrong, but that man was given an opportunity. She closed the door. He went to knock and decided not to and walked his sad ass off. You know why? Because he didn't want the responsibility of dealing with the child that he had created with her. Because something tells me if he would have been like, nah, like, we may not be together, but if it's my kid, then I'm gonna be there for my kid. But no, that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to go back to his wife and act like a baby with her had never happened. And that's why she let his ass go. Okay. James wrote Bernie a letter telling her that he fell in love with her, and it didn't undercut how he felt about his wife. He still loves his wife, but she was inspiration to him that something beautiful can be out there waiting for him. And it was what he needed. And I feel like they both needed that. They both needed to feel like something was out there waiting for them. So that's the sweet part about it. But in essence, it still feels like Bernadine being of value to another man that will only go and show love and loyalty to a white woman that he would not show to her. So yeah, y'all gaslit the fuck out of black women with this movie. Thank you for that. Because essentially what we have learned since Waiting to Exhale is that the black man that we get is the black man that the white women get. Sometimes the white women are just better at dealing because they're used to that type of environment. Whereas black women, I feel like we have more independence about ourselves because we've had to have that independence. White women are used to acquiescing. Like, for instance, Married at First Sight. Y'all remember Ryan and Clara? And Ryan was looking for Clara to have some sense of purpose. And she was like, no, I don't really think about that. Like, all she wants to be is a wife and a mother to some white guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She just wants to be a wife and a mother. She doesn't have any purpose. She doesn't thought beyond that. There's no depth there, nothing. She just wants to be in that role. And I feel like for white women, that is the societal norm for them. So they fit into that role easier, just how black women fit into the we can do everything role easier. So that's how we end up fitting, because society pushes us into these boxes. And honestly, a lot of times we don't have much choice. So we just go ahead and push ourselves. We move into those boxes without being pushed into them. So I feel like with white women, it may be easier for them to acquiesce because that's what society has implanted in them, versus black women that have constantly been in a state of abuse and fighting fighting with white people, then fighting amongst ourselves, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of discourse that is placed amongst Black people in almost every facet when it came to slavery. Then when it comes to nowadays and how, they put Black women against Black men and all of this shit. Like, and no, we are not socialized in the same way. Our Black men are not socialized to take care of their women the way white men are socialized to find wives, have families, take care of them. Okay? It's just not the same. And we all know that there are always tons of exceptions to these rules. Okay? But I feel like back in the 90s when we were watching this, it made us feel like John was going to go on to that white woman and not cheat. James is going to go and treat that white woman better. So something must be wrong with Bernadine, right? That is what it taught us. But now in 2022, we see all the biracial children and how the racial shit was still a part of their makeup, still a part of their households, where some of them felt that their white parent resented their Blackness or still said racist shit in front of them, or the Black men that eventually leave those households anyway and leave those white women on their own. Okay? Either way, or what John may likely have done, which is eventually had children with that white woman and then forgot about the Black children that he had with Bernadette. I mean, with Bernadine. Basically going to Brian McKnight the situation. Let's not forget. All right. So still, at the end of the day, James and Bernie were supposed to be two people in a place where they could not fully they couldn't move on, but they needed somebody to help them see that they could. And they were that for each other. And in that moment, it is beautiful. But the fact that that woman had to be white, that is where the gaslighting came in for me, because she didn't have to be white. Why did she have to be white? It was so we would be made to understand that we were, even though this is, it's written by a Black woman, but at the end of the day, it still feel like the messaging there, the messaging there is that we're still going to end up having to fend for ourselves while the men go and take care of Kathleen and whoever James' wife is. You know what I mean? So that's why, in essence, you don't need to ever make, you don't even ever need to make decisions like that. Make decisions that are only for other people, because essentially they will choose themselves, and you will have ended up shooting yourself in the foot by choosing them instead of yourself. Wait, Bernie went back to help her no hood ex raise his daughter. The fuck? Child, listen, can y'all stop with the book? Stop. We are dealing with where we are today, okay? Because I can't remember everything that happened in the book. So Bernadine got $1.5 million, their house they lived in, a second house in Mexico, and $500,000 in stocks and bonds. Much better than the $300,000 he was offering. But he shook her hand, and it was a moment of, you know what I'm saying? We let it go. And when her and Savannah walk out the, did you hear that? It was so funny. So y'all, Savannah meets with Kenneth, and he gets there complaining about Paula, his wife, and about how she's calling him every second because their daughter has chicken pox, and she's not going to be able to call him like that whenever he moves to be with Savannah, because she's the most important person in his life. Now let me tell you something, y'all, it's getting dark. It's only like 5 o'clock. What the fuck? Let me turn my light on. Is it rain? It looks like a little bit of rain, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to have drinks with one of my friends after this. So it's like, oh my God, I know I have to change my clothes. All right. So girl, this scene right here. I love Whitney for this. Okay. So basically, as a woman, understand something. When a man tells you, the outside chick, that you're more important than his wife and his kids, you're being played. You know why? Because you shouldn't be more important than his wife and kids. So if you are, something's wrong with him. So Savannah then says, hold up. He tells her that he's convinced that this is what he wants to do when the time is right, because things still have to be worked out. It's more financial, and it will be the wrong time for his daughter. Like, he's making all these excuses for why he's not ready to leave his wife just yet. Like it's he's got her on a string. He's got her on a string. Oh Lord, child. Barack definitely gonna be trying to run inside right now. Damn, I wanted to finish this. Y'all, I'll be right back. I'm gonna edit this and put this on the website, but I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. This video is so long, I didn't mean for it to be this long. Okay, so he was making excuses for why he needed to leave her. I mean, why he was making excuses for why he can't leave his wife yet. And Savannah tells him, you know, the more I look at you, you look like the scum of the fucking earth. I loved it. I loved it. And she said, I'm the lucky one. I'm lucky I was never in danger of you leaving Paula for me. Okay. Just so you could turn me into Paula next year and do the same fucking thing to me next year. Pretty close to irresistible. Love a man. Okay, Whitney, get into it. Get into the role. He says, you weren't worrying about my wife when you were fucking my brains out, were you? She says, you're right. You're right. I couldn't see past what I wanted, and that made me an asshole. But you know the difference between me and you is that I'm not anymore. And then she knocked the drink off over on him. And he said, listen, stop. I'm sorry, okay? We have to be able to work this out, okay? I'm not mad. And that's the thing that killed me. She's telling you she's not a fool anymore, and she's not going to keep going along with this. I'm cheating on my wife with you, so be my side chick shit. And after you've been lying to her saying you're going to leave your wife, she's telling you, no, I'm not going to go along with this with you anymore. And he's telling her, I'm not mad. I'm not mad that you just disrespected me by telling me you didn't want to continue with this fucked up relationship. I'm not mad. Nigga, what? She said, I'm not mad either, baby. And you know what? The drinks are on you. Threw that drink on him and walked the fuck out. Okay, so she goes to work the next day. Her mom calls, going off on her because Kenneth called crying. How could you be so insensitive to him after he cried his heart out? He is a good man, Savannah girl. And that is the most toxic things in our community as Black women. It's being told by our mothers, aunties, and all the older elder women in our communities to accept trash from men so we don't end up being lonely. Apparently, our moms, grandmothers, aunts did not have sex toys, okay? I don't know. I just feel like y'all need to go have some orgasms and gather yourselves because y'all are giving these young women advice from a thirsty place. Okay? Savannah's mama gave her bad advice from a thirsty place. Okay? Because she wanted to go and be an old woman when she's still too young for that. That lady looked too young. That lady looked like she need to still be going and wrap that cat around somebody. Okay? Anyway, look, I'm sorry. But she says that he's a good man. He's just trying to get out of his situation. How could you be so insensitive? And Savannah says, I am tired of you telling me how to live my life, Mom. I have interests you don't even ask about. I'm a good person. I'm good at my job. I have friends. Like, I have a good life. And all you care about is whether I have a man or not. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's crazy that's the only thing you can care about as a woman is if I have a man or not. That's because the mama was fucked up and never unlearned. And that's why it's important for young women, for y'all not to put everything on a man. Please stop. I see a lot of young girls online. Some of the girlfriends of these rappers and shit be making y'all feel like all of the disrespect and unsupportive bullshit is worth it because these niggas got money and these little girls be hating on y'all. All of this, cute, Fendi, Gucci, and all of that. And y'all see how that shit get these girls nowhere. You can have all that name brand and design and in 20 years have absolutely nothing because you spent most of your good hardworking years trying to procure some nigga instead of trying to procure your bag yourself. Okay? Okay? Everybody quotes Savannah. Everybody quotes Savannah mama. He's a good man, Savannah girl. All right? But ultimately, she says, I would think you would rather me be alone than to be with some two-timing loser like Kenneth. And her mom says, once again, he's a good man. And she says, you know what, mom? Won't you go fucking marry him then? Hangs up the phone, calls the mom right back. Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you, but I meant what I said about my life. Okay? And she was like, I know, baby, but I just don't want you to end up like me, alone. And you know what happens at the end of the movie? The four women, after all taking accountability for the part they played in the bullshit in their lives, Bernadine with allowing for a man to take control of her life out of laziness and fear. For Robin, who knows mentally that she should make better decisions, but because she's ruled by her vagina, would make bad decisions in men and needs to choose based off of what she's seeing versus the what could possibly be the possibilities of a nigga. You know what I'm saying? No, deal with where they are. Meaning he's married, he's not a good nigga. He's on cocaine, he's not a good nigga. He can't fuck, he's not a good nigga. Period. If you are a man with money and you see yourself as a nice guy and a woman, isn't really interested in you and y'all end up not being together and then you butthurt behind it, so you act like a bitch and act out in all of these like immature ways, you're not a good guy because you can't handle rejection. Y'all need to learn how to handle rejection, okay? Everybody is not going to like you. It's not shade to you. It's just what it is. Everybody isn't attracted to everybody. Everybody doesn't vibe. Everybody doesn't blend. It just doesn't happen that way. And sometimes in this life, because life is not fair, you're going to like people that don't like you. And you know what? That's a teaching moment for you to be able to deal with rejection because it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Y'all, it's pouring down outside. Gloria needed to learn that you need to live your life for yourself and not for your son. And you need to see how beautiful you are, whether you a big girl or not. And we all know Gloria was not that big. But just because you a big girl, just because you fat or whatever they want to call it, it does not mean that you are lacking in value. It doesn't mean you need to take any old man. It does not mean that you need to be the fuck buddy to some nigga. Okay? It doesn't mean you need to just take them as they come because people don't view you the way they view skinny girls. Fuck that. Fuck that. Always feel like you're beautiful, no matter what weight you're in. Always feel like you a bad bitch, however you want to look at it. Always feel like you're attractive, you're valuable, you're beautiful, you're sexy. Always feel like that about yourself. You know why? Because it's not about nobody but you. You got to feel like that about yourself, and then you will attract people who see that in you as well. Okay? Because Gloria was bad. So the idea that she was walking around not dating and not having a man because she didn't see how fine she was, because she was caught up on a nigga that wasn't even really into her, treating her like shit because he didn't want to be honest with himself. That's why you can't let how other people see you dictate how you see yourself. Because that lady spent a lot of time putting too much effort into her son because she was too scared to admit that she was insecure and she needed to fix the insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Work on the insecurity. Start doing, you look at yourself in the mirror, speak positively into yourself. When you think about a negative thought about yourself, dispel the negative thought. If there's something you can do aesthetically to make yourself more attractive, then do it. You see what I'm saying? But ultimately, don't ever walk around on this fucking earth feeling like you're not attractive enough to receive love or to receive affection or passion from somebody, because that's a lie from the pits of hell. Okay. And it puts you at a position to feel like you're not deserving of better. So people will come and take advantage of the fact that they see that you're insecure. They see that you feel bad about the fact that you don't think you're as attractive. You know what I'm saying? Or the world may not think you're as attractive, whatever the fuck. Okay. But as long as you feel like you that bitch, can't nobody disturb that. And people are attracted to that type of energy. Okay. Exactly. Validate your damn self. Okay. And when you have moments where you don't feel good about yourself, no, not doing that. Nope. Correct the thought. Y'all got to learn how to correct y'all own thoughts. It's your mind. You're in control of it. If a thought comes into your head that makes you feel bad, dispel the thought. Okay. Especially when it comes to your self esteem. Dispel that shit. Okay. Put that shit in the back of your mind. Child, my dogs are scared of the rain and have bust out of the garage. Get away from me, shitty. Anyway, but they're all driving New Year's Eve in the car together to go and celebrate. Robin is pregnant, big and pregnant, keeping her baby. Everybody looks happy. Everybody looks grounded. You know what I'm saying? They all look confident and beautiful and lifted. And they still haven't all found men. They still all haven't found a man to be with, and yet they still are together, feeling cute, feeling love, feeling happy. Y'all, I have never cried before at the end of this movie, but I cried at the end because I know what it feels like to be in a tough space in your relationship and your friends are your saving grace. You know what I'm saying? Your friends are uh, they scared. They do not like the thunder, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Your friends are your peace of mind. They're a safety. You know what I mean? They give you genuine love. And at the end of the day, you can go through all of this other stuff around them, all of the men, all of the issues, but the fact that they had each other, that's all that really mattered. Y'all, Barack is crippled. And I believe he's trying to come up here because he's scared. He's crippled. Is that hell? Oh, that might be hell. Oh, that is hell. Not a hailstorm out of nowhere. Oh my God. Oh my God. This needs to stop. Girl, I ain't worried. This needs to calm. This needs to stop. This needs to calm. Anyway, but that's the end, y'all. That's the end. I'm glad the weather starts as soon as the live is over. Yeah, see, look at it. It took him a minute to get up here. Yeah, he crippled. He would never come up the stairs unless he was really scared. I feel like I'm gonna have to reschedule my I don't know, I'm gonna have to call my girl. But anyway, that's it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this long ass live. Next time this won't be this live won't be as long, I promise. But I still enjoyed it. I think we had so many good conversations today about this. Yes, this concludes our movie review session. It absolutely does. But y'all catch the playback when you have time. uh Oprah basically made it feel like Whitney's movie and everyone else is just supporting cast. Well, we see that's not what happened from the movie. Okay, that's not what happened at all. But anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope y'all enjoy this. Have a good rest of y'all day. Pray for us, Lord.